All right, today we are reacting to 6 plus-size people versus 1 fake. One fake? I think that's just like one non-fat person, one skinny person, one person that is in shape. I think it's funny they put it as one fake. But basically, in case you don't know what this video format is, basically this channel, Jubilee, will take a group of people that have something in common, and then they'll take one other person who does not have that thing in common. They'll put all the people in a room, and everybody's blindfolded, and the people who have the thing in common have to find the person who does not have that thing in common. This episode is fat people, so we'll see how this goes. Before we get into it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And yeah, let's just get into it.
Does everyone here wear jeans? Like
Yeah.
Where do you guys buy your jeans from?
That honestly depends. I've had some luck. I mean, I present more masculine, so
Okay.
a lot of the times I will.
Oh, we found ourselves the imposter. So this guy right here, not coming across too fat, I don't think. I mean, this looks like a very baggy shirt. So this right here is our imposter. This right here is our mole. They call him the mole, right? The guy who's the faker. So this guy's basically gonna have to like LARP. He's gonna have to role play as a fat person, which I think is gonna be interesting. Like, I don't know what route he's gonna go. Is he gonna go the like, what do you guys eat in a day route? Like, oh yeah, whatever. Is he gonna go the, oh, I can't fit into any of my clothes route? I'm not sure. Or he could take a very unique route and be like, who are your favorite fat influencers? Nick Avocado's videos actually saved me when I was depressed and I was thinking about deleting myself. You know, I just watched some Nick Avocado mukbangs and it gave me my will to live back. Or he could say like Boogie2988 at his largest size, you know, made me feel represented. I don't know what route he's gonna go, but I think it'll be interesting.
Like resource to Old Navy. I'll just kind of go there and like get one of the bigger pairs. I actually did just get a pair from Old Navy like a couple weeks ago, and I love it, but it's a little big in the waist, so I do have to take it in. I'm probably gonna tailor it though. So, but I do love Old Navy's jeans, especially their men's section.
I don't really wear jeans, but I think the only 2 pairs that I own are from Shein.
I feel like it depends what style I'm going for.
True.
Like for fitted jeans, I definitely think like Good American's my go-to. Obviously they're like on the higher end of like pricing wise, but they like make my ass look great.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. Also, like getting the confidence to actually wear what you want, it took me forever. So when I actually did, I'm still in the mentality when I was like 16, 17 and I could fit in a medium. So I'm like, oh, I can't go to the same stores. Like I
Right.
can't go to a mall and buy clothes anymore.
Interesting. All right, so let's back that up. So Marcel there said that she was having trouble with confidence and self-image. All right, listen, guys, listen up. Here's what I think about confidence. I think confidence, when properly applied to the right thing, can be one of the biggest difference makers, right? Apply confidence to a young man who's got a great personality and is looking for love, and boom, he's out there, he's cold approaching girls, and he's getting girls' numbers, and he's making his way to getting a girlfriend. That is confidence applied correctly to the right thing. I think when you're fat, right, you should apply the confidence to wearing what makes you comfortable. Obviously, my overarching take is that you should lose weight if it is, you know, inhibiting your actual life. Like if, you know, you have medical problems and stuff because of your maybe obesity or something. But if you're just a larger person and you're wearing like triple XL or 4X, right? Just wear it and genuinely, like, I feel like if you're just confident about it, no one's gonna like care, you know? As long as you're drippy, I think it can work. I remember when Jonah Hill was really fat, he was still throwing fits. Like a baby, this guy was throwing fits. Point is, fat people can be confident and drip out type thing.
I would say 2 years ago, I would go to like Goodwills and Value Villages, but that has become a lot harder as of
Value
late.
Village.
The reason that I chose to do this was mainly because it meant a lot to me to share the idea of like, as you transition away from being in a bigger body to potentially being in a skinnier body, that is not something that like makes you harder working or better at like achieving some sort of goal than the other person or another person that you may see in a plus size body. And going into it, I like promised myself I wasn't gonna tell any lies. I was gonna be very truthful and speak on every kind of
As a skinny person, isn't the whole point that you're gonna go in to be a capper? Hey guys, I'm fat as hell like the rest of you. Like, isn't that the whole point? Isn't that what you're here to do? You're here to cap. You're here to lie. You're here to fib. Tell some tall tales. I mean, I get what he's trying to say. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna pull things out of my ass, right? He's gonna say, oh, I used to be fat, so I'm gonna speak currently as if I'm still fat, like I used to be. And I get that, but still, bro, let's not try to be like, you know, morally righteous about this, bro. You're here to be like a liar, all right?
experience that I had leading up to today. I wanted to make sure that what I was saying was stuff that I lived through, I think putting on a character would be disrespectful to the other people that were here today. I just thrift most of my clothing, and like I have a tailor for my pants anyway.
Shout
like
out to the tailors.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when I'm back home. I'm 15 minutes outside of New York City, so I usually just commute in there. There's this one thrift store, I don't know if anybody's been, called the L Train, and like that is really good for carrying bigger sizes. Back in my actual hometown, I can go to my tailor very easily. It's like a 5-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
So I thrift probably 90% of my clothing, cheaper,
Slay.
saves energy, and like it feels way easier.
There is no way he's gonna go pay like $15 for jeans, then go pay $45. Like, I get it. As a plus size person, tailoring for some things, great. But I could not believe for a second that he is tailoring every set. And I was like, he is.
Wait, did he say that though? I just don't even think that's what he said. Is that what he said? That he tailors every single piece of clothing he buys? In case you don't know, tailoring something is basically like you have this piece of clothing that looks great and would match your style, but it just doesn't fit you properly. So you take it into a professional who can basically like cut the cloth to make it fit your body better. The problem with this is it is expensive, so you're gonna only want to do that with clothes that are like worth a lot or that you're gonna wear a lot. And I don't know if this guy said that he would do that for every piece of clothing. Maybe I'm tripping, maybe she's tripping, I don't know, maybe we're all tripping.
Is not fat anymore.
Not gonna lie, I shop at Ross a lot or Marshalls, and finding jeans is hard. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes at Ross they'll have bigger sizes, sometimes they don't. But if it says stretch, then I'm usually good on it.
I actually didn't even share where I got my jeans from. I realized that. I usually shop at like American Eagle. Jeans in general are like a struggle to find. Either they fit your thighs and they don't fit your waist, or they fit your waist and it's a struggle.
Oh my god. Not Bradley. Don't do it to Bradley. Come on. That's not all right, man. Bradley was like, I shop at Ross. I like Marshalls. I like Marshalls too. Marshalls is good, dude. Nah, seriously, like, you can say what you want about me, but bro, Marshalls, yeah, it's cheap, but they have amazing deals. And if you just need some quick clothes, if you're going on vacation or something, or I don't know, you want to expand your wardrobe at a cheap price, hit up Marshalls, bro. And it's not even like they got crap. They have some decent brands. You can get Nike, you can get whatever, bro. I support Marshalls, bro. No Marshalls slander is gonna happen on this channel.
Oh man. I did feel, I guess, invalidated in a point, because they were talking about, brands and, and stuff that I can't really afford. So I thought my answer of, oh, I shop at Ross because that's what I could afford, I thought that's what kind of eliminated me.
So I was gonna say, if any of you guys did any form of like performance as a
Bro,
kid.
that's so sad. Hold on. When you really think about it, this guy basically is just fat, right? And he got kicked out because people didn't believe he was fat. Like, that's so sad. Like, you have to question your own being when other people don't see you as who you are. Obviously, it's a game show, right? He probably isn't thinking it's that deep, but he was like, I feel invalidated. And I'm like, dude, I get it. I would feel invalidated too, man. If I'm fat and I'm going on, hey guys, I'm fat. They're like, no, you're not. It's like, well, yeah, I am. Like, yeah, I am. It's like, damn.
And I know we were talking about how some of us were models before, sorry about names, but how that affected you growing up, and how like the idea of performing and being on stage was definitely more difficult for you than your peers.
That is an awesome question.
Well, you start since there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was on the math team for my elementary school, which was like very fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. But before our first meet, when we were doing practices and such, they gave us the vest sizes, and I remember putting on the largest vest size that they had, and it clinging to my skin and making me very uncomfortable. And I walked into the bathroom, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, I can't do this, and I quit. And it really frustrated me that I let that take away something that meant a lot to me. That was definitely like my first experience with like, it is very difficult for me that outside elements are going to take who I am and make
Right.
that a form of a problem.
I'm gonna be honest, I have like no idea what this guy's talking about. He said he got a vest for his math team. First of all, what the hell is a math team, right? Like, what is that? What does that mean? I had a math club in my middle school where you stayed for 30 minutes after school to complete Sudoku puzzles and that sort of thing. But like a math team? Am I the only person who has no idea what that is? I feel like I'm gonna get roasted in the comments like, oh, you haven't heard of the math team? Like, no, I actually haven't. Like, what positions do you play? Like, you're on the math team. are you playing center? Do you play forward? Like offense, defense? How does that work? Do you get benched on the math team? What does practice look like? Do you need water bottles? Do you do like burpees beforehand? Do you do high knees, butt kicks? Like what does that look like? And you know, furthermore, why does he need a vest for his math team? Like what, a vest? Does it have to do with the sport? Like are they doing the math outside where it's cold and you need a vest? I am perplexed. I'm perplexed. Yeah, I'm perplexed as shit right now, dude. Someone has to tell me what this is.
As a woman in a plus size theater community, it's like I always got the funny roles or the really unattractive roles.
Okay, that I absolutely will understand with her on. If that, I don't know why I said it like that. I will absolutely hear her out on that point, because truth be told, there is definitely sort of a thing where fat people get cast as like the funny role or the jokester in like school plays, you know? Like, I do get what she's saying there. She's not making that up. Like, that is a real phenomenon.
And I'm like, I'm big, that doesn't mean I'm hilarious. Like,
Girl, we could talk about this forever.
yeah, so that's super.
That's facts. I'm big. That does not mean I'm hilarious. Well, I think for guys, usually it's true. I'm gonna be real. Acheeto, you're perpetuating the stereotype. Yeah, the one that's completely true. Every guy's friend group that has a fat friend, the fat friend is objectively always funny. Even if he's not the funniest, he's funny. Okay, straight up. Like, I don't know what to tell you, and it's not even like a bad stereotype, right? I mean, like, maybe it creates false expectations and whatever, but still, like, dude, spreading joy and laughter, you know, even if that's a stereotype that you may have, okay, like, fantastic. Go complain about that.
Powerful, because performing and becoming into yourself, you either have to be overly confident and fake it till you make it, or it will tear you down. So I'm very sorry that happened to you.
How do we all identify? Do we identify, like, what do we use to label ourselves, if you have one?
P-H-A-T. Thank you.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I have a weird feeling about that one for some reason.
Really?
I like just normal.
Yeah.
Because I'll say fat, and then people will be like, oh my God, fat. And then I'll be like, it's not inherently a bad
No,
word.
right.
It's an
That's the
adjective.
biggest-
That's
say
the
fat all
thing.
the
No, but
time.
it is kind of taboo, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm fat. Don't say that, you're beautiful. I am f***ing gorgeous, but I am fat.
I didn't say I was ugly.
It's, oh my God,
Yeah,
bro.
So someone says you're fat, but you're beautiful. And because it is true that a lot of fat women are not seen as conventionally attractive, that you being highlighted as an exception to that rule upsets you? I don't know, man. Like, okay, she's like, well, just call me beautiful. Don't say you're fat, but you're beautiful. It's like, I mean, I get where you're coming from, because it sounds like it's sort of like a backhanded compliment, but I can see where they're coming from. And like, if you're being highlighted as the exception to a general rule, I feel like that kind of adds more oomph to the compliment, you know? What's a good example for a comparison here? Okay, so if you see like a jock, right? Like, you know, stereotypical jock, like captain of the football team, like shredded, right? And then a girl was describing this guy and she's like, yeah, he's a jock, but he's also really smart. Like, she's basically saying that most jocks are like meatheads, like they're retarded. But this guy is smart. Now, would the jock then go and say, well, you can just say that I'm smart. You don't have to preface it by saying I'm a jock. It's like, no, you're just being highlighted as the exception to the general sort of expectation. And I don't think that's like a bad thing. I don't know. Comment down if you agree.
I misspoke.
I was
People
like,
treat it like it's
right,
taboo, and
right.
that's
So
the
it's
issue, really.
it's two truths. I'm like,
Exactly, yeah.
I feel beautiful, but I am fat. Being fat or plus size does not mean that we're not active, that we're not nice people, that we're not worthy.
Is that a stereotype? Do people think fat people aren't nice? I mean, if that's true, then that's one that I've never heard of, okay? That's crazy. Imagine you're trying to get on the nice list for Christmas and Santa's like, can we get a weight check on you? That's insane.
It really sucks when people treat you differently because you're a size 18 rather than a size 2 or 4.
When I, like, for example, great example, I went Halloween shopping, and it's really hard because, like, first and foremost, trying to find the plus size costumes, they're like, oh, it's just kind of integrated everywhere. And it's like, realistically, you have 200 costumes here, but only like 10 are for plus size. Then I go on to the other costumes, and I was like, oh, my choice is to be like a duck or the plus size nun costume covered boobs, knees, everything, but the skinny costume for the other nun was like tits out for Harambe. And I'm like, so I literally, like, my choice is like be a bubble bath or a duck, and I'm like, I need a plus size section when I walk into somewhere, because we have not progressed in human society.
There was this.
I'm just gonna keep it like the whole buck, right? That is the most, like, useless problem I've ever heard. Because not only is Halloween once a year, but, like, you're a grown woman, right? And I'm not saying that you can't dress up for Halloween, right, when you're an adult. But if that's, like, your main thing that comes to your head when you think about, like, oh, it's this hard, this is why it's hard to be fat, and it's because you're a grown woman who can't dress up the way that you prefer in a costume for one day a year, it's like, if you want to dress up so badly, at that point, just DIY, dude. Put on some makeup, do your own costume. If you as a grown woman want to do Halloween so bad and you want to participate in whatever, then just do it yourself, I feel like, you know? And I'm not saying that, you know, Party City couldn't do a better job with fat sizes and whatever. I'm saying that if you have that much of an issue with that specific, maybe, problem that you're occurring, you could find your own solution.
Brand that that had this big campaign saying they were launching extended sizes, and then it came out and it was like completely different than the straight sizes, and I'm like, we are just asking for the same thing.
Why do they get cocktail dresses and I get moons?
Literally.
That's crazy.
Shut the up. What? Me?
Girl.
Yo.
To be fair,
Oh my
I feel
God.
her.
I didn't know it.
Who voted me out?
I am equally shocked.
I'm psychic. I know. One of you was on to something.
If you
That's
think
crazy.
the mole is still in the box and you wish to continue playing the game, please raise your hand.
I think the odd one out is probably somebody who lived as a fat
Used
person
to be, yeah.
but lost the weight. But usually a lot of the times people that do grow up fat or, you know, go through weight loss journey, they end up being more fat phobic. That's not in all cases.
Based. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why that happens, right? When you're fat and you actually realize that you can take a certain route to lose that fat and be skinny, regardless of if it's strenuous or hard or difficult, or the goal may be a long ways away, that it's possible. Once you realize that, and you perhaps are even realizing that you're seeing results on this journey, this quote-unquote fat phobia that you're describing is just the realization that you can lose weight and that you can encourage other people to do so. Because I know exactly what they're talking about, because I know guys who have lost weight, lots of weight, and they become more critical of, like, fat positivity movements because they know that they can do it. Simply put, bro. Put it simple for you.
It's not in all cases, but it does happen a lot.
Turning in on that, like, I really do think that in my personal experience, people that go from being in a bigger body into, like, becoming skinny feel some sort of resentment, especially because I think they tie achievement to what they've done for some reason. Like, there's this very big principle of, like, look at what I've done, and they push this, like, American dream-esque mentality of, like, like, genuinely, like, I worked hard and I did this, and it's like, well, not everybody wants to do that.
And, like, that's fine.
Like,
that's fine. If you want to lose weight, do that, but you don't need to, like, project that onto everyone else. And I would think if you were somebody who lived that experience as a fat person, you would understand.
Honestly, dating, I've met many guys who were like, I used to be big, so I understand that being smaller is more desirable, and it's just like this conversation just rubs me the wrong way because I've been met with so many people who think like that, and like person I dated was very fat phobic, and they used to be bigger and they lost weight, and they were like shaming me about my body, being like, you know, we'd have better sex if you were smaller.
And said some Kanye level stuff. Instead of having the lens that this guy's coming at you, you know, bullying you or whatever. And I'm not saying it's impossible because I don't actually know this guy. Maybe he was a piece of shit, right? But let's give this guy some charity. Play devil's advocate, if we will. Maybe this guy actually cares for your relationship and thought that the way to maximize it was for you to undergo something like he did. So I don't know. Let's just, you know, lay that out there.
All that shit. Like, oh my god.
No, 100, and it's the connotation, right? Like, because they, like, quote, sorry,
Fat is
I was gonna throw up air quotes, but we all blindfolded on. Because they, like, put in the work, that part being in air quotes, and, like, became into a skinnier body. All of a sudden, there's this idea, like, you aren't working as well. But again, not everybody wants to work that hard.
Exactly. Can we also go down the line and maybe just say if we have been fat or plus size most of our life, or if
Actually, that's great, because I wanted to say for me it was a little bit different. Growing in South America, there isn't a lot of overweight people, obese people, and I've always...
Hey, I wonder why. It's a pretty American phenomenon. Well, I keep saying I wonder why, but it's pretty obvious. Like, the food that we eat is almost all processed, and the companies basically will like do some shady activities so that the FDA is not as hard on them, so they can get away with marketing things falsely, selling boxed crap at a low price. It's just it's all pretty corrupt. I wish the FDA actually went hard on like doing what they should do, which is being the regulator on things such as food and drugs, especially the food part, right? Because it's like, I don't think the average person should have to worry when they take a bite of a Big Mac if doing so is going to like disrupt their endocrine system. You understand? Like the FDA should take care of that.
Been curvy, so to speak, and I was fine, but I was still like, you know how they say I spent my skinny years thinking I was fat? So I moved to the US when I was 16 and I started gaining weight. You know, the life here is different. I wasn't as active, I wasn't doing sports anymore, and then I was on birth control. So for me, it was hormonal imbalance that made me gain a lot of weight. But it really sucked, and you know, in my own skin, I'm gonna start crying, I'm sorry. You know, like being skinny.
Dude, the producers are watching this right now, rubbing their hands like, oh yeah, I want to see some tears.
And like, now you're fat, and like everybody treats you different.
I'm sorry, that wasn't funny.
It's difficult
I feel
too
bad.
because you know, I grew up fat. I've been fat my entire life, and I've always envied, in a way, like I've always wondered what it would be like to live in a thin body and have people treat you differently. Like I've dreamt about it, and I think that is really difficult when you like, yeah, exactly. Like I understand what you're saying. Like you've lived both, and it's hard because, you know, from people who haven't, it's just we can't even
You
fathom.
don't even understand.
Yeah.
And speaking into the whole
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about this discourse, so I just want to see if bro takes a W. Final results. Let's take a look.
If the lights turn green, that means you have voted.
Oh,
the
they
mole
lost.
out and you win. If the lights turn red, that means the mole is still in the box and you lose. 1, 2, 3.
Oh no.
we lost.
On the count of 3, everyone can take off their blindfolds. 1,
2,
2,
3.
I knew it.
I
knew
wow.
it.
I told a heartfelt story about dating someone fat phobic. You guys voted me.
Okay, can we talk about 1,000,001 reasons why it was Derek?
Okay, the only one that got me was like the theater. Like I really could relate with that. So I obviously
Same.
know that
No,
you were, like you really
that
were
was
through
your
that.
biggest
I
red
think
flag.
that was true.
No, it was true. That's what I'm
Promise,
saying.
That's an
Giving me
important
away
thing.
was
Nothing.
giving you away was
There is
that
not a single.
you
Yeah.
were getting-
So when I was in 4th grade, I was 4 feet tall. I was 144 pounds, and my doctor told me that I was morbidly obese, and it was a very like self-image wrecking thing for me because he used language that made it seem like I needed to change, as opposed to just.
Well, I mean, but you did though, right? So maybe Doc was spitting facts. I mean, can we just like give bro a little bit of credit, or no? Or are we just not gonna do that?
Just assessing where I was. Like I said, everything that I talked about before was true, but when we were talking about people being incredibly fat phobic that go through a transition of being in a bigger body and then ending up quote unquote skinnier, that experience for me was I mistook the pain that came with not having self-love as being associated with a number on a scale. And as I kept moving the goalposts further and further away from myself and saying, like, this will be when I'm happy with myself, and this will be the time in my life where I like the way I look, and once I do this, I'll be happy with myself, I was no happier than when I started. I just kept being further and further from a goal that I was changing. I am happy not because of the way that my body looks, but because I can have self-acceptance, and that's a very difficult journey for anybody to go on, and me losing any form of weight played no factor in that.
W, bro. Anyways, though, that's the winner of this video. If you guys ended up enjoying, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Comment down groceries if you made it to the end of the video. Follow my social medias, links are all down below, and I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.